waste of 20 minutes. And it's not good news. So, I am at my wit's end with this fuel system. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the fuel filter for two reasons. First one, it's part of a full service anyway. So I want to get this car roadworthy. I want it to be a good car for the next owner. I don't want there to be any problems. So if I do a full service, even though one was done not so long ago, I'm going to feel better about it, and the next owner is going to have a better experience as well. Secondly, we are having issues with the fuel system. Potentially, a few of you have suggested it could be a blocked fuel filter as well, where there's so much build-up pressure from the fuel pump that it's just going to stop engaging. So I have myself a fuel filter, not sponsored by Crossland yet, if you're listening. But these have all gone on my other cars anyway, so it should be a relatively easy, I've said that before when I start with relatively easy job, and they're just not, are they? So I'm going to leave that for you to all judge whether it was easy or not by the end of the video. So let's get underneath the car. Let's start having a look and see what we've got to deal with. Having never changed a fuel filter before, the first obstacle I've come up against is there's this bloody great plastic cover in the way. And I'm guessing there's a fuel filter under there because if you can see, these are the fuel lines. They run all the way to the injectors, right the way from the pump, and directly above them is this plastic cover, and that's where the pump is. So first things first, we're going to remove the bolts that are holding it in. They don't look too rusty, not too bad, but I have come prepared. I have a bowl because I fully anticipate fuel is going to absolutely piss all over me. So let's get cracking. Just got the last bolt out. And would you believe it, when you peel it back after I've just jacked the car up, put the car on stands, nearly cut my finger on one of the clips, guess what? It's not there. It's not there. There's just a big fuel tank there. What a waste of 20 minutes. It's on the other goddamn side of the car. I think this serves as a really good lesson. Don't just go starting a job because you think you know and you just assume everything's exactly where it should be because you've seen a cover or you've seen a clip. Oh, it must be under there. Do your damn research. Google it. Go on ChatGPT. Look at forums. Or better yet, just look before you start undoing clips and bolts and taking stuff off the car. Look, I can literally see it. But there's an identical cover on this side, and I'll try and see if you can see. Oh, hello, Mr. Fuel Pump. You were there all along. Oh, right. Let's get the car back up in the air on this side and rinse and repeat. We have a fuel filter. Now we're on actually the right side of the car. So, from what I've read, we have a clip here, which basically just disconnects the line. And then we have this kind of BMW style pull-out clip here. So we're just going to give that one a hard tug. We're going to pull that off. Fingers crossed, fuel doesn't absolutely just gush out and go all over me. So let's see if we can wiggle this one out relatively easily. Oh, you bugger. All right, is that supposed to come out all the way? Well, it has now. That's that out of the way. This clip here. Oh, you're going to need two hands, which I don't have the dexterity for. Ah, there we go. Well, didn't get too soaked either, which isn't too bad. Then I think I've just got to take off these two retaining clips here. Nice and simple. They are just plastic. Yeah, probably would have been done by now had I not decided to start an adventure on the other side of the car for no reason. But here we go. So yeah, as I said earlier, the main reason for this is when you fill up every time from the petrol station and all that fuel sits in your fuel tank and it just sometimes gathers a bit of crud and rust and crap from the fuel tank itself. Any foreign bodies that can just be sitting in the tank, anything solid. The job of this is basically stop anything large from passing through the hoses up to your injectors, because injectors have a tiny, tiny little jet on them. And they're super, super sensitive as well. So you have to limit the amount of foreign bodies and objects going through them. So that is the job of this one. I keep smashing into my camera as well. That's pretty good. There's one of them off. Oh, Jesus Christ. That came off with a bit of lump. Right, then all we have to do is take this filter off of this bracket and then we're going to go stick the new one in. So I did get covered in fuel. This thing here, ugh, that was stupid. This thing absolutely is full of fuel. Sorry for the wind as well, if you can hear that. So this thing's absolutely full of fuel. So that was really clever turning it on its side, wasn't it? But anyway, so that's what you're left with. Just the old filter stuck in the housing. So you just slide it off. Easier said than done. Come on. There we go. And that's your old canister. And then your shiny new fresh one slides back in, just like that. Now, this will obviously need some filling up, so it will take a little bit of time through cranking just to fill this up, get fuel back through the line. So I won't be disappointed next time it cranks once and doesn't start.
It's not okay! Why don't you start?
2 hours later.
Well, you didn't think that putting a fuel filter in was going to be an easy job, did you? It should have been. However, when I went to put the new part in, the pipe just wasn't, they just weren't lining up, and I pushed and pushed and pushed. I was giving it some fair old force. The problem is the connectors on the fuel pipe are plastic, and you do just run the risk of being too vigorous with them and them snapping, and then you're going to have to buy yourself a whole new line, and it gets expensive and labour and yada, yada, yada. So I stopped for a minute and thought, let's just have a look and see what came off and what's due to come on. Now, the old pipe, the old filter, this, if it focuses okay, can you see here? We have a little ridge there, but other than that, it's a smooth pipe. So that's what came off the car. The new one, which is bought by Euro Car Parts, by the way, where you put your reg in, goes, this is the filter for you, buy, buy, buy. So you buy it thinking brand new part. The new one, it has a knurl on the end, a bulbous lump, which is thicker than the old one. So it won't go on, which means I have to order a new one from Euro Car Parts and wait till tomorrow for that to be delivered and give them this one back, and then I can put it back on the car. Great. Second thing I noticed is the new one, when you blow through the new one, I hope you can hear this. Take this off. Air flows through fine. It's just like blowing through a straw. So there's a filter in here doing its job and it's allowing fuel through. The old one,
disgusting!
let's do this. That is blocked. Has this been our problem? I mean, potentially, if the pump's not priming because there's too much pressure build up and that's blocked, maybe. Only one way to find out, I suppose. So I'm going to now order a new one, fit it, and then we have some outside influence coming in to give us a bit of support. So you will see. I don't know about you guys, but I want to know what's inside it. I don't know what's inside a fuel filter anyway, to be honest. Magical fairies that filter fuel, I don't know. But I want to know what's inside, and I've got a few options. I can use a recip saw, I can use a grinder, which will take 2 seconds. But then I realised that this is probably still full of fuel, and if I start using a grinder,
I've basically got a bomb. so I'll be using a grinder. So I'm just going to be using a hacksaw. I want to cut through it because the intrigue is just getting too much. So let's see how blocked it is. Now that's all cut open. Supposed to have a look, shouldn't we? And as you can see, nothing went bang. So I think cutting it with a handsaw was probably the smart move. So all I'm going to be doing, I mean, I've cut through. You can just about see through the end there. Other than that, other than the metal that I've just filled this up with from cutting it, it looks and seems okay. So if we just take it out. Oh, fuel's going to go everywhere, I know it. Seems pretty clean in there. And the filter itself, I can't see any obvious clogs. But now we know what a fuel filter looks like. Can I cut this a bit more? Can I open it? Apart from it stinking out my house with fuel, let's have a little look, see if we can pick that out. No is the answer. Great. Although, we can give it a pull. I mean, I was expecting to see some big lumps of grotty fuel tank rust, but it actually looks fine. Why couldn't I blow through it? I mean, there was damage to the side of the car. There wasn't much damage on the underneath of the car. I can't imagine the pipe being blocked or anything like that. So, out with the old, in with the new. And tomorrow's a new day.
Right. I'm the type of person who, if I'm lost and I'm driving along, I won't stop and ask for directions. I will try and plow through and do it all by myself and have the satisfaction that may have been a bit late, but got there in the end. So yesterday I called in for an auto electrician to come and give me some support. I got to the end of where I felt comfortable in terms of changing parts and removing other bits and putting them back in. And every time I was back to square one. So I called someone, and he's a lovely guy. His name's Clive. He said he was a face for radio, so didn't want to be on the screen. So we didn't film any of it. We did various tests on glow plugs, injectors, ECU, the works. And it's not good news. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through what it would cost and the parts that we'd need to get this back on the road running into a new home. So first things first, it needs a new ECU. The root cause of the problem is that at some point he thinks someone has fried the ECU running too much voltage through the pump or something along those lines. Fine. A new ECU. I'm going to put all the costs up here as well so you can see what it adds up to. So a new ECU for a refurbished cloned with original data is about £1,800. Ouch. That's not all we'd need. We also need a new car access system module. They're about £40. We'd need a new key. We need to program the immobilizer as well. That's about £300, 300 to 350. We know the JBE fuse unit is good because we've replaced that one already, so there's no cost there. But I have bought one anyway, so it's already cost me money. We'd need a new DME relay, which is about £25. If we do need to change the injectors, because they will also need recoding again, that's about another £150. Labour on top, nothing, because Muggins here would probably have a go at doing it. And then you also need some diagnostic software too to actually get the whole thing talking to each other, which is again is about £150 to £200. So I'm going to put the total here. That's how much it's going to cost just to see if it starts. That's assuming there's no other problems, no other gremlins, nothing else stopping it from working. We don't know if there's loads of other stuff that's hidden nasties that's just going to come back and bite us. We haven't even taken it for an MOT. Who knows what else it'll fail on? And I think you can all guess where I'm going with this.
No, God!
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
For the cost of what I paid for it and the cost of everything that I've actually pre-bought and installed, like the door, like the JBU unit, like the serviceable parts which I bought are here. And then how much we could probably sell the car for if everything was working fine and we got a good buyer. I'm going to put here. So we would be at a loss, a significant loss. So I can't justify doing all of this work for a loss. So where does that leave us? What we are going to do is make sure that the spirit of this car lives on. Is I'm going to sell as many parts as humanly possible to make up the deficit of what it costs for me, but also to fund the next car that we're going to bring to the channel. And I like the idea that this Mini could be lights on another Mini somewhere else. Someone else could have my door. The engine can go into another Mini and give that a new lease of life. So if you think about it, rather than just saving one Mini, we could potentially save 10 Minis from all the parts that are going to get shared around. And that's the positive mindset I'm staying with at the minute. But look, there are quite a lot of parts that are, I wouldn't say desirable, but they still cost quite a lot of money on the used market. Probably not the questionably stained front seats. I might put them straight into the skip. But we do have certain parts of the car which should still go for quite a bit of money. The mirrors, they go. The lights on the front, they're still worth quite a fair bit of money. I'm probably going to try and sell the engine as a non-runner. I think because I haven't tested it myself, my what do you call it? My not dignity. What's the word I'm looking for? My conscience. I can't sell that as working with the idea of some poor gits on their driveway taking a broken one out and putting one that might possibly be broken back into another Mini. I can't do that. But we also have the rear lights as well, the wiper arms, the exhaust is in pretty good condition as well, the alternator. There's loads of mechanical parts that are worth quite a lot. So what we're going to do, the next video, I'm going to remove as much as I humanly can till it's a bare shell, sell as much as we can, and whatever's left, we're going to use that to then fund the next car on the channel, which we are hopefully going to get working and show you guys that actually you don't need to be an incredibly qualified mechanic just to save these cars from the scrap. In this case, yes, I know I haven't set out what I wanted to do, I haven't achieved that, but at least I got a professional to tell me that I should steer clear. He literally said, do not put any money into this car, you'll be chasing your tail. So I take professional advice as and when I can get it. But for now, sorry, old girl, you will not drive another day. But next episode, let's see how much money we can make back off of selling individual parts. I'll show you how I can take them off. I'm not going to put them back on again. You can look at another YouTube video for that. But taking them off, I'm going to be an absolute dab hand on. And we will come back swinging with car number 2.